Morning folks, you've joined me at the end of week 9 of my ultramarathon training plan. Week 9 is the first week of the speed weeks, so did a bit of a session earlier on in the week, and today I'm out for a 16-kilometre long run on the trails. And while I'm out, I'm going to discuss today's topic, which is ultramarathons and specifically distances. I'm training for my second ever 50k, and I'm wondering about why would anyone go further than that? Will I ever go further than that? And why? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. In my last video, you may recall, I ran the entire South Chesterfield way for my long run, and only realised sometime afterwards that even though I had had a banana before I set off, didn't actually take any fuel with me, which was a bit of an error. I usually like to practice my fueling on the longer runs, and it may explain why I was feeling so knackered. So today I've brought a flapjack and a gel to have at the appropriate times during this one. There's the next hill we'll be tackling. It's the one I used for my first hill repeat session of the plan. Up to the top of those trees. Looking forward to it on the way home. The first thing I'm wondering is, why did I start running ultramarathons in the first place? And I think it's possibly linked to the fact that I enjoy running on the trails more than the roads, and trails don't always lend themselves to fast running, but long distance, interesting running, it comes with it, and that's what I enjoy. So what's the appeal of the longer races? Is there some ego involved? I think there may be a little bit. I mean, I do feel good about the fact that I've managed to run an ultramarathon in the past. It makes me smile to think about it. Not to say I look down on people who haven't, but it just gives me a good feeling. So that's one good thing about it. And then going further, would I feel better about myself if I'd done a 35 mile or a 40 mile or a 50 mile race? Maybe. I guess there's only one way to find out. Is it a cliche to say that older and or slower runners go for distance over pace? Could that be one of my motivations? I don't feel like a particularly fast runner. I'm not sure. Maybe initially yes, but I feel like my runs, my fitness are still improving. So I could do a faster half marathon, could go for a road marathon at some point, I could try and beat my 5k PB. I'm sure these are all within reach, and I could attain some reasonable sounding numbers. So maybe it's a cliche, but maybe there is an element of truth in that. As I get older, I can't imagine I'll be going for 5k PBs in 10 years time, but we'll see. One downside of training for ultras like I have been doing these last couple of years, while still having aspirations of doing faster short distance races, is that it doesn't fit directly into my training plan, and the training plan I've been using goes on for 24 weeks, so that's basically 6 months of your year taken up by the ultra and the training for it. So using a kind of off-the-shelf or out-of-the-book training plan, as I have been doing, nowhere in there does it say run a fast 5k on a Saturday morning or do a half marathon race this weekend. So squeezing one in there will be deviating from the plan and possibly, you know, introduce fatigue that I would then have to manually cater for with my limited running and planning knowledge. So sticking to the plan seems like the sensible thing to do, but then fitting other stuff in is difficult for half the year. So that's a bit of a downside really, and something I'll be considering when I look at doing more ultras in future. So in terms of my personal plans to progress through the distances, I do like the idea. I'm not in any rush, but the next race I'm doing is 35 miles. I know there's a local race run by the same people that did my first one, the Spire Ultra, and that's 40 miles. You know, that sounds like a good challenge. 35 miles is going to be hard, but can I do 40 miles? The challenge is in, can I finish it? Not how fast I can get round, though there will be a time cut off, so you can't dawdle too much. So there's just enough challenge for me that I think I probably could do it with the training, but it would be a definite stretch, and that's kind of just the right level of challenge that I want my goals to be. I'd like to think that I can picture myself maybe doing a 50 miler one day, but beyond that I'm not so sure. 100k sounds extremely daunting, but maybe years down the line I'll be thinking differently. So maybe I'll stick with 50k, 50 miles, somewhere in that region for a while, until I build up my strength in my running legs and my confidence over those distances. I'm in Nottinghamshire, guys. I think I've crossed the border. I'm on the other side. Almost at 8k, then I'll be turning around and heading back to get the 16k run done. So what do you guys think the appeal is of the longer distance ultras? Is 50k enough for anyone? Would you go beyond 50 miles? Why would you go beyond 50 miles? I think personally, once I've done this ultra, I'll be having a good think before I take on another 6-month block of training. I might get away with doing a shorter training block for my next ultra if I keep my fitness and my strength up. So my thinking at this point is that after I've recovered from this one, maybe I'll focus more on the shorter distances. Finally get that 5k race done in Chesterfield and see if I can beat some of my old PRs at the shorter distances. Focus on strength a lot, getting my legs conditioned and stronger, so whatever I decide to do next, I should be ready for it. So I think I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for joining me again. Hope you've enjoyed my discussion about ultras and longer distances. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, it is free. Just press the button and watch the subscriber count go up by one. Thanks again, I'll see you soon.